Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hideout tonight. We have a very, very spectacular show. You're not going to believe this. You don't have one nerd, not two geeks, but three fanboys tonight. You got the menage trois of fanboys. Myself, co-contributor Dave Beaudry, and co-contributor Commander Cody Murray are going to be on tonight, and we are going to be talking about something that's very near and dear to us, Harrison Ford. We love you. We hate you. What the hell happened? Are you coming back? See you tonight. Hello and welcome to the Hideout. This is Jason. This is
Cody Murray.
And this is
Dave.
Dave, welcome. Welcome. We now have a menage trois in the mental sense.
None of us are wearing pants. I have no pants. Like, I don't actually own any.
This is the benefit of having a table. What we would like to talk about tonight, and the reason you have got all three of us is because this touches to the core of fanboyism. We are talking about the one, the only, the legend, the possible disappointment. Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford. The legend that is Harrison Ford.
The legend that is, the legend that was.
Both.
Or the legend that ever will be. Okay. What, are we in like a fantasy movie here? Come on.
Harrison Ford matters to fanboys, and I'll get even more specific, probably to males of our age, males that came of age at a certain time, children of the 80s specifically, late 70s, all through the 80s.
Especially
Harrison Ford fucking matters. He's an actor, a persona that matters. Someone in society that matters. Why does he matter? Because his images, his characters, the things he did on screen, they shaped our ideas of masculinity.
A generation.
In
Yeah.
my opinion. And at the time, this was the start of the fanboy culture. That whole Star Wars thing that came through. There had been a little glimpse here of Planet of the Apes. We had a little Battlestar Galactica, the first run, the sucky version. And then, all of a sudden, here came Han Solo. Here came that rogue, that scoundrel. And then, as if the one punch was enough, here came a second one. And it was Indiana Jones. And Indiana Jones was the shit.
You mean Henry Jones Jr., right?
We named the dog Indiana.
The dog. Good dialect. Well, this is also what separates Harrison Ford from other actors performers, because normally you're lucky if in a career you get one iconic character franchise.
Lucky. I mean, beyond lucky.
He's one of the, and he's had two. The only one off the top of my head that I can think of who's had that type of success is Stallone with Rocky and Rambo.
Good.
Ford has got, thank you very much. Ford has got both Indiana Jones and Han Solo. And again, can either one of you think of anyone who has had two?
No, I think you hit it.
And to bring us back around, we will be seeing the two of them, Stallone and Ford, on screen in a war/action film coming up, because he's going to be doing Expendables 3, which I'm sure is coming up on the docket of conversation.
Interesting.
That's this August, right?
Yeah. Okay, so when I was a kid, this is my introduction really to Harrison Ford. This is when he became the man to me. When I was a kid, of course, I knew Star Wars. I'd already seen Star Wars. I'd already seen Empire. Han Solo was the shit. Loved him. Thought he was great. Didn't really care about Luke even at that time. Loved Han. He was awesome. But what really happened when
And Han shot first.
Han fucking shot first.
Well, as somebody,
Or someone said, that's
corrected
technically
me.
not even right. Han's the only motherfucker that shot. So kudos to you, whoever the fuck said that,
Well
because
done.
you're absolutely right.
smartest fans on Facebook.
Smartest motherfuckers watch our show. Two of them. And you know what? What
numbers
really
gone up,
happened?
all right.
Thank you. What really happened for me when I got all brainwashed with the Harrison Ford fever was, but when I was a kid, we had HBO, and HBO back in the day, they had about 5 films per month. 5. They didn't get like 50. Okay, they had like 5 or 6. Okay?
Well, what was HBO? What's the acronym?
Home box office.
There
Home
you
box
go.
office.
Right.
Home box office. That was it.
Doesn't mean that anymore. but-
And I'll tell you something. If you had a film that you liked that was on that month, you'd see that film in that
20
one day
times.
at least 4 or 5 times because it was on rotation. Anyway, so they had Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay, I was in a very impressionable age. I was probably 9, 10 years old, I guess.
Sure.
I must have watched Raiders of the Lost Ark 80 fucking times. I mean, and
In
that
a
was just
day?
that year.
Okay.
Okay?
It's a lot.
I love that damn movie.
Boy, but Raiders, you were how old?
I don't know. I was like 9 or 10 years old.
But Raiders didn't come out in 1970.
You bitch, fuck you.
Yeah, but that's when he had a HBO, right? Was that many years later? So.
Anyway, so I would go to...
Do the math.
I would go to the playground.
You don't know about, like, psychiatry, okay? Sorry, Tom Cruise reference.
I would go to the playground. I would get my jump rope. That would be my whip. I would find the fattest person I could find to be Sala. I'd whip people. I'd find the fattest motherfucker to be Sala. I'd go to the jungle gym. That was the Well of Souls.
Wait, what?
And then I would find the cutest girl I had a crush on, and she'd be Marion. And we reenacted the Well of Souls scenes every day until I was in high school, and they made me stop.
That's
I watched Star Wars, I don't know, every day for like 3 years. Something like that. My dad could back it up. He's like, every time I come fucking home from work, goddamn Star Wars is on. So many times.
The original movie Star Wars, Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yes, exactly. On and on and on. And I mean, you know, I'd watch Empire a lot and I'd watch Jedi a lot, but, you know, always came back to watching Star Wars, where Han is this roguish scoundrel character. You know, he's kind of heroic, but he's in it for himself, right?
It was his wit too, because that was the thing. Is like you had, you know, before that you had the John Waynes and you had, you know, others of that ilk, but they there wasn't really a sense of humor. It was just like,
Right.
oh well, these are bad guys. This is what we got to do, and blah 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 blah.
Let's go kill some Indians, Pilgrim.
Han was funny. Indiana Jones was funny,
Right.
and that's what really separated him as well. Is I'm not like I wasn't really brought up like growing up. I love Star Wars, loved Indiana Jones, but I wasn't really like yay. Like if Harrison Ford was in another film, I wasn't immediately like, ooh, I need to see that.
My mom was.
That was
for sure.
Well, that's the other thing.
It still is.
Female appeal, absolutely.
Shit.
But I think that's what separates both of those two characters. That then also became associated with him. Was the sense of humor and the wittiness and the sense of fun.
And the everyman man of action. Like, he's like that hero that was all of us that could be more than what he was.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at Indiana Jones, for God's sake. He's a fucking college professor, right? He's essentially a normal guy.
Not a very good one, really. He
Not
takes
really.
all his time off.
Can't spell very well, gets distracted by girls with shit written on their eyelids, etc.
Pretty tight, actually.
But, you know, you know what? He's almost like a superhero.
Yep.
Indiana Jones is kind of like a superhero.
But in the everyman way.
In an everyman way, and he's teacher by day, and then he goes and finds relics off in far-off countries, you know, by night or weekend or whatever.
This is the sad part. This is the sad part of the video.
Oh, no.
That's why we're...
Sadder than you chasing people around and whipping them against their will.
That's awesome. That would win America's Funniest Home Videos. That would be fucking awesome. You made $10,000 if you were a kid doing that now.
The reason we're
get
wearing
sued.
black is because there's a period of mourning for Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford, somewhere in the early mid-90s,
Yep.
decided to embark on some sort of dramatic career. Because he had done Witness, it was fantastic. And because he had done Presumed Innocent, fantastic. Of course, I preferred Mosquito Coast.
Good fucking film.
If you haven't seen that film, you go fucking watch that film right now.
Watch that.
You understand? Mosquito Coast is fucking amazing.
Outstanding.
It's like when I told you people to go watch Apt Pupil, go fucking watch Mosquito Coast. Now that is Harrison Ford's finest. Helen Mirren? Helen Mirren's in it? And River Phoenix. God damn it.
Young River Phoenix.
And I am telling you...
There was an old River Phoenix.
He never got old.
Too soon.
Too soon, son. Too soon.
It's like 25 years ago.
Johnny Depp's... It's Jack Sparrow's fault, that fucking bar. I'll tell you something.
Viper Room.
That was his best performance. Everyone wants to see Harrison Ford's best acting. You go watch Mosquito Coast. Puts Witness and Presumed Innocent right to fucking shame. And I swear that's the truth. Swear to Batman.
Are you saying you didn't like Random Hearts?
And here we go. He embarked on this career that he started doing dramas and romantic comedies and dramas and romantic dramas and drama comedies and dramedies. And I gotta tell you, as much as that might have been fulfilling him, it wasn't fulfilling to the fans.
What you just said literally hurt my ears.
I'm sorry.
All the rom-com, drom-dom, romedy-domedy, ding-dongs, that's just...
Well, I thought it was because of his volume.
It's just the volume.
I can handle volume because I can't hear very well anymore, you know, but just hearing that
what happened?
Slur of shit.
What do you think happened?
He made a choice.
Sure.
Or his agent
and by
did,
the way,
or both. I don't know.
he has total rights to make that choice.
Well, hang on. Let's backpedal just a bit.
Sure.
Leading up to the reign of shit, that I'd like to call it, of these
Forevermore will be known as Rain of Shit.
Sabrina.
For the record, we would all trade careers with him in a.
Oh yeah, no, I would
heartbeat.
totally.
By
love to
the
do that.
way,
That'd be fucking
and let's
great.
just do this as a fucking preliminary. We love this man.
Oh yes,
It's not like we hate him, we love him. But we got to talk about this now.
we don't understand.
It's like when we talk about Ric Flair. Dude, hang it up. You're hurting yourself. Let's get back. Let's just get back to this. Now, Rain of Shit. What happened there, Cody? Explain it.
Fuck, I don't know. I mean, we talked about what his last great movie was in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade.
In
Star
that when
Wars.
he was Harrison
When
Ford.
he was his utmost. What was the last great one? We've talked. Sorry, one sec.
Go for it.
Repeatedly that it's The Fugitive.
It's a fugitive.
And I think that is spot on.
A lot of
and
people say Air Force One.
Air Force
We
One
say it's a
would be
fugitive.
I'd
the-
go Fugitive over Air Force One.
Air Force One to me was
Respectable.
the beginning of the decline.
But I think that was almost, that's not a great film, but I think it was the last
It
of
did
his,
well.
I think it was the last of his, I'm fucking Harrison Ford,
Right.
the king of action for you motherfuckers. I think that was his last endeavor in that for a long, long time. What really changed a lot, not just the roles that Harrison Ford was taking, I noticed, because hey, I'm a Harrison Ford mark. I love him. His acting changed. His fucking acting changed. And by the way, as an actor, you take in your life shit and then you put that into your character, so I don't know. But your life must have become pretty fucking boring. Because you seem bored to be on the set. You seem bored to be fucking giving dialogue. It seems like the camera's annoying you when it's on fucking you. You literally have turned
That's
into...
how I feel right now.
You literally have turned into driftwood. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, but many of the scenes you're in, Harrison, you just sit like, and you walk off. And I don't even know what the fuck you just said or even what you're supposed to. You okay? Now you're the one
Have
coughing.
some more juice.
I don't
Whatever.
understand because he used to say that he didn't want to watch his shit when he was Han Solo because, well, I wasn't an actor yet, and I don't like seeing my amateur work or my beginning work or Well, at least you were fucking acting. At least there was emotion coming out of your ass. You're fucking in all these other things that we've seen lately, and it's just like. Now, let's talk about the resurrection.
Onward.
Expendables 3. I'm psyched for Expendables 3.
Well, of course.
Skipping ahead a bit.
But the thing is, Harrison Ford, before he did Cowboys and Aliens, he told his manager, he said, hey, I'd like to actually do films that people watch. Direct quote.
How about that?
How about shit that? And by the way, that's what he used to do. Harrison used to make films people wanted to see. He took a different role than what he's usually normally taken.
Did he, though?
Yes,
I don't
he
know
did.
if I agree with
No,
that.
hold on. Let me finish, and then you tell me if you disagree. It's totally cool, but I want to get this out. Harrison Ford took a senior statesman type role. He did not take the main part. That was definitely Daniel Craig. He was the star of the show. Harrison Ford took a role that was slightly a dickhead role that turned out at the end of the movie, if you haven't seen it, turned out to be a fairly good guy. But it gave him that senior statesman, not elderly, but I mean that action hero of a different generation mode that reminded me of somebody else that's near and dear to my heart. Who's that?
Sean Connery.
That's Mr. Connery himself.
He's like the patriarch. That's
That's
what
right. And he's playing the patriarch of action, and you know what? It worked. Hey, I think Harrison's making a comeback in a different role
Totally.
for the audience. What do you think, Dave?
I disagree with
Okay.
that.
Get out!
Because, first of all, his most recent film choice was, I'm blanking on the title of it. It was the one with...
You call yourself a fan.
The dude, because I didn't see this movie. It was the one with Gary Oldman and also the dude from Hunger Games. And he was bald for it.
Right. I remember we were talking about. I don't remember the name of the movie
Wasn't
either.
good, and it didn't do well.
It looked weird.
And also, I don't think Cowboys and Aliens was that big of a stretch. He was basically playing the curmudgeon. It was just the curmudgeon with a little more energy than what he'd been putting into for the previous year.
But that's not
Also a lot different.
that's not the character that he was playing
Nah.
in the end of his good
I think
years.
that he was. I think that during the Reign of Shit, he was curmudgeon and he was grumpy and he was boring and he was driftwood. But that was shit he was bringing. Now he's in an action film, like he said, that people want to see, movies people want to see, and he is playing this role like, I'm not the main event. You're the fucking next generation. but I got my action role over here. I can still contribute.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not
And-
saying it was a bad. I thought he was very good in it. I just didn't see it as any kind of stretch from anything that he had previously done.
Well, I disagree. Wow.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, and by the way, I respect your opinion enormously, but
Also totally.
I got to disagree. I think that he took a role where he's like, you know what? I got to figure out a new version of Harrison Ford. I got to figure out how to take that old Harrison Ford and put it into this generation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, you and me talked, we were thinking that he might just be the millennials version of our Sean Connery.
Right.
I mean, our parents, they knew Sean Connery as, 007.
Sure.
We knew Sean Connery as the old badass, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We knew him as Henry Jones Sr. We knew him as fucking
Captain of the Red October.
Captain Red Ramius.
The Rock,
Man.
Michael Bay's
Rock,
best film.
we knew him,
Yeah,
fantastic.
definitely.
I mean, we knew him, he was a badass. When he came back from his retirement, he retired from 83 all the way to 87, 88, played Malone in Untouchables, won the Academy Award. He came back as a different version of Sean Connery, and it was well established as the old badass. And he
Right.
came back hard, hard.
With
And
a vengeance.
With a fucking vengeance. There was only him and Clint Eastwood can get away with that. I'm older than dirt and I'll still kick your fucking ass in the ground. I mean, he just really, it worked. Well, I'm hoping that's where Harrison goes.
That's
with
what
this
it
thing.
feels like.
That's what I'm thinking
We'll
too.
see how it goes in Expendables 3, and then, of course,
But we only
Star Wars.
listen.
I'm excited
There's
for it.
Expendables 3, and then there's just Star Wars. I mean, there's Expendables 3, and I'm a big Expendables fan, just like Dave. We love this shit. But I mean, Harrison Ford reprising one of the most iconic characters is terrifying for fanboys. It's exciting, but it's terrifying.
Is it awesome, or is it going to be fucking sad?
And so please, whoever's in charge of this shit out there, I'm begging you, please make it good. Don't make Harrison look bad. Harrison, please act again. Don't look like Driftwood. Revisit the stuff you think you're doing bad acting, because you were doing good acting. Okay, you shaped us. Please don't let us down.
And please never make Random Hearts 2.
Or regarding Henry 2, The Revenge.
Or fucking Sabrina 2.
No.
Or 8 Days and 9 Nights. Or What Lies Beneath.
Or
The Beneath.
What Lies on Top.
Don't make any sequels to any of this shit.
That sounds like a porno.
At all. And by the way, we love Mosquito Coast. We really do. And
Good
nobody
stuff.
gives you enough credit for that.
Not
but
at all.
that's your balls out best performance.
Hands down.
Fucking hands down. But anyway, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Commander Cody.
Pleasure
We'll be
as
talking
always.
to you next time from the Hideout.
And never tell us the odds.
And don't forget to shoot first.
But the best news is that Star Wars, as of now, will not have Shia LaBeouf.
Fuck you, Shia.
Yes!
Fuck you. You made it into fucking Wall Street? Fuck you. You made it into Transformers? You made it into Indiana Jones? You have raped my childhood and I fucking hate you.
Yeah, I hope
And
the seagulls
hope
are eating the sardines.
Steven
you cast off
Spielberg,
pile
you
of
should be
shit.
ashamed of yourself picking Shia. You used to have Harrison, now you with Shia. Fuck you too. And you know what? I can't talk about Shia. I hope that fucking Tom Hardy rapes you.
We
And
could do a whole
fuck
show
you.
on Shia
Fuck
getting
you,
beat,
Shia.
so.
I don't know what the hell you people are thinking putting him in a film. Fuck him. But
No
what I'm trying to
talent
say
ass
is,
clown.
what an ass clown.
Thank you,
Bye,
Kevin
John.
Smith.
Fuck you. Never bring that name up again. Henceforth, it will never be talked about again here.
Stricken from the record!
It is
shall
stricken
not
from the
be
record.
named.
You're going to the Phantom Zone.